and he didn't have his dinner. And the next morning we got up and we opened the door, and Nicky wasn't there. So he didn't have his breakfast. And then we went out and looked in the park again, and we couldn't find him. And we put signs up everywhere in the park and said, "Lost dog, his name is Nicky." Do you know what happened then? That night, he still didn't come home. And we had to go to bed again without seeing our Nicky, and without him having his dinner, and no cuddles or pats. And then the next morning we opened the door, and we walked up the road to go to the park to look once again, and guess what happened? 3 houses up, the front door opened, and Nicky came out of the house. He had been in a different house. And these 2 lovely old ladies had taken him in, and they cuddled him, and they fed him, and they gave him a bath, and they loved to have him. So they thought he wanted to stay. And then he saw us, Nicky saw us, and he, just like you run across the airport to say hello to Papa, Nicky ran across the road and he said, "Woof, woof, 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 woof." And he was so happy to see us. And we were so happy to see him. And then he came home and he had a big breakfast, and we took him to the park and had a lovely walk. It was so much fun.
Why those ladies?
Well, those ladies thought that he was lost, and so they thought, "Oh, he's very hungry. I better take him in my house and give him some food." And then he smelled a little bit, so they thought, "Well, we'll give him a little bath." So they gave him a little bath, and he was very happy. He curled up in the ball and went to sleep and stayed there for 2 nights.
Why?
Because he was quite content. He was happy.
Did they give him anything to eat?
They did. They gave him lots of food and lots of pats.